27 minutes after 10, the number's 13 12 69 on the line. The former nighttime news talk host himself, an online political commentator, Jim Ball. Hiya, Jim.
How are you, Chris?
I'm doing well. I want to raise this issue of rising tide. I get call after call from our Newcastle listeners through 2HD complaining about what rising tide is allowed to get away with, I guess, each and every November for almost a week-long protest on climate change. They're in Sydney on the weekend. They're taking over parts of the harbour itself. Geez, these people are pains, aren't they?
They are, and I'll be pretty straight up about this stuff, Chris. I am so sick and tired, whether it was the Opera House on the 9th of October back in 2023, the march across the bridge. All of this comes down to one set of words. It's called moral cowardice by the police, by the judiciary, by the political class. Moral cowardice. And all of these stunts and all of these causes are all based on propaganda and lies. And none of this stuff, rising tide, it's nothing to do with the environment or climate or net zero or CO2 or Gaza, because now they're all totally unrelated, except in that hive mind of the participants. And it's the same damn people every time. It's the socialists. Yeah. It's the Marxists. Yeah. It's the disaffected man bun types like Josh Lees, jumping on board any and every issue from which they believe they can derive benefit and attention. It's all about relevance and attention seeking by a motley disaffected group of, like I said, man bun types that contribute absolutely nothing to society. They are I think I've used this phrase before, they're quintessential bed sores on the arse of the nation. They are the suppurating, weeping bed sores, pus-infused bed sores on the arse of the nation.
Oh, come on, tell us how you really feel. Come on.
Chris, I nearly dropped the F-bomb there. I nearly did.
We're on 7 seconds. It's okay.
That's all right. But I am so jack off with all the politics, all the cops, the judiciary. I absolutely have developed a deep, unabiding loathing for the lot of them, and I think I speak for a lot of people. They make all the weasel words, they say make all the right noises, and the media too, for that matter. I mean, if the media didn't pay any attention to Rising Tide or this week's Gaza Group or whatever, they wouldn't disappear. But really, we could go along with our day. I just find them they're so depressing. This is nothing to do. And as I noticed, the Executive Council of Australian Jury co-chief, I can never pronounce his name. We'll just leave that there. He said the demonstrators are simply twisting unrelated causes to attack Israel. Yeah. Climate change has got nothing to do with Gaza. Yet those desperate to give purpose to their lives, their miserable F-bomb lives, find a way to make everything about Israel. The attacks on Israel, really, and the boogeyman of climate and the environment, it's all interwoven. All of it is an attack on the West. That's what it's about. Forget about Israel, forget about Gaza, it's all about an attack on the West. And we have piss-weak, pusillanimous politicians who swallow the bullshit and the lies.
Spot on. Love it.
Still got 7 seconds?
Yeah, no, that's okay. I didn't need to press the button. Now, I want to ask you...
Man, I get so jack of it, Chris. I really do.
And I understand why. And we'll get jack of it on the weekend when they start to take over the harbour. Now, I made some comments at the beginning of the program today, Jim, about, one, why don't politicians look after our money better? Are they just couldn't give us stuff? And secondly, have we become a community of criminals? Like, we've got the New South Wales transport boss in the newspaper this morning pleading for his staff and contractors to unveil further fraud after these incredible revelations of fraud going on within the New South Wales Transport Department revealed within ICAC. We've got this COVID Treasury report from New South Wales saying 1/3 of business grants were fraudulent during COVID, not to mention the billions being investigated in the NDIS. When there's a honeypot of money run by government, we have almost a cohort, a thriving industry of criminals who go out of their way to steal it.
Okay, a lot to unpack with this, and I don't want to go holy roller and all religious about this stuff, but I'm going to. I'd like to think that this kind of behaviour, if not totally alien to the Australian ethos, is at least very rare. And I think a lot of it derives from the fact that we've drifted away from the ideas of truth, of right and wrong, and those basic spiritual and religious values that were once part of our culture. Now, you know, like we all used to go to, I haven't been to church since I was a kid, but those things I learnt are still inside me. And you just don't do certain things.
Yeah.
A lot of this, people are going to say, you can't say, well, I can say that. A lot of this ties back to multiculturalism. There are people that come here who have a different set of values, who look after their people, and they're not in common cause with the majority of Australians.
Well, it's dog eat dog in some of the countries where they've come from, where civil war has reigned, where civil liberties are not part of the ethos, where corruption is very much in second and third world countries.
You will draw a direct, straight line between multiculturalism, the Lebanese civil war, and the support for Gaza in Western Sydney. That is a direct, straight line.
Yeah.
And that's what we're dealing with here in Australia now. Thank you, Al Grasby. Thing is, you know, Chris, before 1975, and Gough Whitlam and Grasby and all the rest of it, we had multiculturalism with the end of the Second World War and the migration of Italians and all the Europeans coming to Australia. That was multiculturalism, but there was an expectation of assimilation tied in with that.
Yeah.
Now, I know I've drifted off topic here, but we have become a culture of criminals, and I go back to what I said. I think a lot of it's to do with us drifting away from what's right and wrong, from not even a religious perspective, just as a decent human being perspective.
Well, family breakdowns breed a lack of discipline, and then all of a sudden you've got cohorts who specialise in criminality.
Education comes into it, or lack of education, teachers' unions, all of that. Yeah.
One quick one before we get going. The new federal green tape body. I don't know what to think about this. The Greens are complaining that it doesn't go hard enough to protect the environment. Business, though, on the front page of our papers today, arguing that we're going to have more red and green tape out of this. And why are we having an extra level of assessment anyway?
This is about the government's trying to shore up and appease their Green Left constituency. Let me give you an example of something that happened recently where the government was walking both sides of the street back on, middle of September somewhere. Over the last several months, there was great concern whether Murray Watt would give approval for Woodside for their 50-year extension of their gas hub up there on the northwest shelf. Yeah. And that was handed down. The approval was given back on September 12, I think it was. But then the second shoe to drop. Only a few weeks later was the red and green compliance tape and all the hoops that Woodside had to jump through, and others, of course, would have to jump through to be compliant. So on the one hand, they say, we're giving the go-ahead, but on the other hand, not so fast. We're going to make it so damn difficult for you. Hopefully you might go away. But this is where we've arrived. While everyone is screaming for governments to get out of the way, cut red tape, cut green tape, they just can't help themselves. Then, of course, add to all of this the entire net zero business and the business of foreign investment is pretty much straight. Who would want to invest in Australia?
No.
Who? For God's sake, who? Yeah. How the hell did we arrive at such an impasse? And how the hell, more to the point, do we get ourselves out of it? Why would anyone bother investing in Australia? It's almost as if The government is deliberately trying to make it impossible for business to function.
Yeah, it's very true.
That's how it seems.
But they'll propagate jobs in the public service which don't create any productivity whatsoever.
But worse, they'll call that productivity.
Yeah. It's crazy stuff, mate. It's a crazy world we live in, and you've
unbelievable.
You've highlighted it in 3 ways. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate your time.
Okay.
Jim Ball,